Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. Okay, so I'm feeling a little better this morning about President Donald Trump. Okay, moving forward, when I got home from work last night, I watched News Nation, and Chris Cuomo, he had 2 hours on, and Bill O'Reilly was on, and he spoke about the J6ers, and probably that being the most contentious thing that President Donald Trump did right away was first keep referring to them as the J6 hostages, but then to make sure they were all set free. So Chris Cuomo interviewed a mother of 8 who had a pickaxe thing and was part of that riot. And he asked a very important question. He asked, do you have any regret? Because that's part of pardon, is that you have to show some regret. And she said, I have regrets. And then you could tell that she was aggravated by answering that question. She said, it's been 4 years. And the amount of trauma it caused that all my children had to go through with me. Of course I have regrets. She found that a stupid question. But she said, we all need to move forward from that day, and if we want to go forward, we got to just forget it and move forward. Okay, so people died. People were traumatized. I think she's more sorry about her children and what she went through, but never mind. We're moving forward. Okay, on to immigration. I do not understand. There is a great need to vet and checks and balances and security at the border. Amen to that. But birthright citizenship? No. What's this? Put on the form. Where were you born? United States. Okay, you're not a citizen. You're talking about every third generation that came over here. Everybody, a lot of my neighbors are Spanish. And basically yesterday, they were afraid to send their kids back to school because ICE is going into churches and schools now and workplaces. So, and Mayor Eric Adams just said that ICE is now going into churches and schools. So I had one neighbor who asked me, well, wait a minute. She said, I've been here 5 years. I'm on my pathway to citizenship. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do through a local Ibero and Catholic Family Center. But she said, my children were born here. What am I going to send them to school and they're going to take them away? So I just think they need to really iron that out better, because it makes no sense. Makes no sense. When you go to a country and you're born in that country, you are a citizen in that country. I get that there's people that come over pregnant. I think my grandmother from Italy, I think my dad's mom, I don't know, she may have been pregnant with my aunt. I'm not sure. But I know, no. Because I know my older uncle was born in Italy, I think. I have to think about that. But then my father was born in the States, so he was a citizen. I mean, that's just how it goes. If he's trying to rewrite it, I don't know. So I just saw Eric Adams on the news, and he said, yeah, ICE is entering schools and churches in New York. And workplaces. So I don't like that. J6ers, fine. But I will not call you hostages. You're not political prisoners. You're not sympathizers. No. And here was my thought about Donald Trump being so quick to, run that down and get them out right now tonight. This is his way of cleansing himself. He feels guilty for those people being in jail. He feels guilty because at the heart of it, he did egg them on. He did stir them up. So he's clearing his own, what's been on his chest is, look at all those people are in jail because, yeah, maybe they misinterpreted what I said. Maybe, I don't know, I was telling them to fight. I was telling them this isn't right. Because he's an injustice collector. But he doesn't want that on his conscience. He doesn't want to. So I feel like he was pardoning himself when he pardoned the prisoners. Okay? And I don't want to hear they're like Germany sympathizers or they're like political prisoners, because they weren't. They had free will and choice. All right. So anyways, they're free. Moving forward, I would like to see Donald Trump do well. I think he has a lot of good ideas. Key moments from the inauguration that I loved is that Melania was on, man. She was on. First Lady Melania was on. She was on the cameras in the inaugural dance. She was waving to everybody, smiling at her husband, kissing his cheek, patting his back. She was just on from the get-go. And this is not what Melania usually is. Melania is usually very set back, little stoic, little statuesque, little can't really read her, very flat-faced, maybe a glare out of her eyes. That's about it. And smile once in a while. If we look back to Jimmy Carter's funeral where they were all present, the cameras didn't follow Melania into Jimmy Carter's funeral because they weren't allowed at a funeral. So she's doing a movie where she is transitioning, and this is very interesting to me. I've always told you guys, group dynamics and body language and how everything just changes is so interesting. So some of the key moments for me were Melania's very on performance through the entire inauguration. And I think her choice of clothing, she is a message dresser. Her fashion is always sending a message. I think her long suit coat in blue to match her husband was saying, I'm equal, I'm with him, nobody bullies me, I'm my own woman. And then the hat pulled it all together. Where she, a lot of times she was holding the hat down so it didn't fly away. I wondered if maybe there was a microphone under the hat. What's going on with the hat, right? It looked great. Her inaugural dress was very structured and over structured with the black, kind of stiff, not flowing feminine. You can't break me kind of feel her fashion. I thought Usha looked absolutely gorgeous. Usha Vance, absolutely stunning. Just beautiful. And Dr. Jill Biden, purple. I expected her to wear purple and everything, like purple. Hillary Clinton looked very regal and pulled together. Her hair was pulled together. Everything was nice. Barron's choice is he's dressed just like his dad. I had to do double takes to not see. He is so much looking like his dad. And other than the height, he looks just like a young Donald, and he conducts himself that way. At the inauguration, he was reaching across aisles to shake Joe Biden's hands, to shake Kamala Harris's hands, and I think he was just, being very nice young man. What kind of cracked me up is when Donald Trump introduced Barron. And Barron is really working the crowd. He's really sweeping the crowd and doing his thing and moving and shaking. And he stood up, took the applause, and then did one of these. And people applauded more. Then he sat down, and people were still applauding, so he got back up again. And he was doing this with his hands. like more. And then, if you look closely, somebody told him to sit down. And when he sat down, they panned on him and he was all crunched down. Like, oops, I overdid it. Okay, they had him standing next to Elon Musk, who at times Barron looked like, yeah, okay, I'm making conversation with you. But at other times when Elon was doing all his stuff, Barron just looked like, don't put the camera on me because this guy is doing stupid stuff. I don't want to be next to him. He really did look that way. Like, why am I with Elon all the time? They get along, is what Donald says. They get along. But I think Barron was embarrassed by some of Elon's behavior. I really do think that. From body language. The other thing is, you cannot convince me that this, I'm sorry if I offend anyone, was not a Roman salute, which is a fascist. And the way that people reacted when Elon did that, like he came up on the stage and he was doing all his awkward, overexcited stuff that he does, thumbs up, this, that, the other, you, but then that was deliberate. His fingers were together. He went into his chest and out, and then like this. I don't want to offend anybody. That is a Roman salute. You cannot tell me that is because he's on the ASD spectrum or he's Asperger's or whatever. You can't tell me that. Okay, I know what I saw. I won't be gaslit. I know what I saw. That was a definite. And that is not a Democrat going, ooh, that was a Hitler salute. We got to get past that. No. No, because I'm not a Democrat. I told you guys a long time ago, I'm an independent progressive. And I'm not far left and I'm not far right. I'm kind of like middle of the road, just keep progressing. Okay? And I have voted across party lines my whole life. So I'm not a party. I'm independent. So I know a Roman salute when I see one. So that was annoying. What else? I thought Ivanka looked beautiful. I thought she looked absolutely beautiful. In both of the dresses she chose, that emerald green cinched in with the little hat, really demure and regal, and just good. And Tiffany, being pregnant, looked beautiful. The pleats and the ruching that she had going on in her dress, just gorgeous. And when they did the dance and they all came out, we got to see their other gown. Ivanka looked beautiful again. She is a picture of her mom, but taller. She really sounds like her mom and looks like her mom, and she's just absolutely gorgeous. And then Donald Trump Jr. came out with his daughter. Why I'm forgetting her name right now. Beyond me, but she's been campaigning for her grandfather. She's really a sweet girl, and she had a really sparkling, kind of like a high hem to show her leg. All I can think of is Angelina Jolie with the leg, just a beautiful sparkling silver dress. She looked gorgeous. Who else? I mean, nobody looked off. Weird. They all were really styled beautifully. And who else? Yeah, Barack Obama walking into the inauguration alone. It bothered me. I felt like he's that kid alone at the senior ball. And I thought the frosty reception he got from people, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Go to Spidey and Chris Hughes' behavioral arts channel, because they explain that all these people have seen themselves. They've seen each other before. They've chit-chatted with each other. They've waited to be announced. They've gathered together. And so when they're walking in, they're showing you their public face or what the voters wanted to see. So it may look like like some people are being really cool towards each other because that's what they want everyone to see that voted for her, not him, kind of thing. But they have to sit together because they're in a dignitary type thing where they have to all be together. I love that Kamala wore the zippers on her black, it looked like a black or a deep navy blue suit. I loved that she stayed in style with what her normal style is. She didn't try to overdo it. That's her style. What else? I wondered about the executive pens that I heard people yelling, "Mr. President, can I have a pen?" when he was signing orders in front of people. I wondered if it says President's pen on it because he was throwing the pens out to his people, supporters. I wonder, is that worth anything? Because it's just a pen. It's just a Sharpie pen. Unless it says President pen. Get back to me if you guys know that. I would think stationery that had his name on it would be more. But, so I do know a few people that went to the inauguration. And they were very sad that they drove all that way in the cold. And they were able to get into the people rotunda area, or outside of it, I'm sorry, and they weren't able to hear or see very well unless they were right up front. So some of them, what they did is they just walked around and bought Trump merchandise, which they then came home and put on eBay and made money. So, I mean, people do the funniest things, they're buyers, collectors. And I think Donald Trump would have no problem with that because he's all about make the money. This will be worth something. Go sell it on eBay. Do something. And that's exactly what they did. So there were a lot of people there that were just buying up the merchandise and going to make money on it. What else? Okay, immigration. The WHO. The World Health Organization. Do we need them? Do we? Don't they give the guidelines to the American Medical Association? Okay, so what do we do without them? Listen to Robert Kennedy Jr.? What? Okay, the drones. Now, right now we're going through a planet alignment. I'm going to link to the article, but starting January 21st, which was yesterday, day after the inauguration, the planets are doing what's called a planet parade. And they are lining up, all of them, and we are being told that we are going to have a grand illusion in the sky, and they will look like orbs. So when you look at them, they'll look like they're spinning and like they're moving really fast, and they are not drones. So don't try to shoot a planet. You won't be able to. It's too far away. But they're saying the planets are going to be within sight until February, very big. And when you look at the planets, it's going to look like it goes bigger and spins like an orb, which is exactly what people are saying. They're seeing these orbs, which are not human. They're anomalies. They're not human. But then you have a whistleblower dude who is out there saying that he was sent to pick up one of these things, and it's not human. It looks like an egg. So it looked like an egg, and it wasn't made of human material. So I don't know what's going on, but I've always believed. I used to have a little postcard on my refrigerator when my kids were growing up, and I think I still have that postcard somewhere. A friend, I used to collect postcards and put them on my fridge, like funny statement. And it had a spaceship coming and a lady reaching out saying, "Take me home." um, so I do believe there's other life forms out there. I don't believe they look like E.T., the movie. I think we'd be very arrogant if we thought we were the only humans on the planet. And I don't believe they're demons. I believe there's angels and there's good and there's bad angels. But I do believe there's other creatures. I don't believe they're of a higher intelligence. I just believe there's always been around us somewhere a otherly type being, and I'd like to have him open up all the UFO, alien, Area 54, all that, so we can read it. And I do want to hear about JFK's assassination, what they know, and Robert Kennedy and Dr. Martin Luther King. So I am happy about that. I don't know. I went to the store 2 times yesterday just to check. I went to 3 different stores. The lowest price eggs I could find were $4.39, unless you wanted to get a half a dozen, which was like almost $3. So I don't have eggs. So, I thought maybe egg prices would go down, but they didn't. So I'm waiting for the prices to go down. I'm waiting for him to talk to all the crazy property owners that are buying up the monopoly block and then raising the market value, and every year your rent goes up $100, $200, $250, which is insane. You could buy 4 houses over what you're paying in rent. It's insanity. When I first moved into this apartment, you would get a $25 increase, maybe a $60 increase every couple years. Every year it would be $25. Maybe one year it wouldn't be. And then maybe the next year it would be a $60 to $80. We went through, over the pandemic, $200 increases, $100 increases, $185 increases every year. If you want to sign a 12-month lease. I'll get, for an example, my 12-month lease was $1,220 last year. And if I wanted to sign a 12-month lease, it went up to $1,459. So I signed a 13-month lease. So if landlords are going to do that, they have to send different leases that you can sign, which was a little bit cheaper. And especially if they're doing that, there's absolutely no updates. There's nothing happening to improve. There's no... And when you get these landlords that buy up they buy up an entire area of distressed properties, and they're usually garden-style little places, and they just decorate. They beautify. They decorate. They beautify. They throw paint on stuff. They do the bare minimum, and then they raise the rent. So I wanted to see what Kamala was going to do about that and inflation, but I didn't think she was really going to be able to do it either. So I think that's going to take time. And that's all I know about that. I'm looking forward to getting on with the 4 years. Get on with the 4 years. I think we're looking at the next president with J.D. Vance, unless Donald Trump gets sick of him. I think J.D. Vance is the next president. I don't think anybody's even going to try to challenge him. So, we'll see what J.D. does. And that's about it. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day. I hope you don't mind my little political thoughts. Again, Spidey Behavioral Arts Chase Hughes. Now, he's part of the behavior panel with Scott, Greg, and Mark. Often I feel like Greg is for Trump and Scott And so you're not going to get an objective body read or anything from those two. Mark is in Britain, so he really is not invested one way or the other, so you're going to get objectivity. But I feel there's more objectivity with Chase and Mark than Scott and Greg. I think they are definitely Trump supporters, and so you're never going to hear anything even remotely that Trump is doing. So I liked that Chase went with Spidey and they broke down the President Club's body language. I'm hoping the behavioral club or whatever, will do some videos on Barron's body language and Elon Musk and the whole inauguration. I hope they'll break that down little by little in chunk sizes. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks for dropping in. And if you do like my video, please like it. If you have some comments about the inauguration and everything that I'm talking about, please leave them below. It helps to build my channel. My channel was once bigger than it is now, and I need to start building it up again. I have a lot of thoughts about Wendy Williams and her guardianship. I have thoughts about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. I do believe she's still in a soft conservatorship. I have thoughts about Bam Margera. I have thoughts about many things that I'm going to start talking about out here. And then I'm going to share recipes and crochet and knitting. Bye-bye. Take care. Thanks.